Hello, hello. Bl'Artagnan here with Illusory Lighthouse, the catchy mission dungeon Lufenia Plus. We're bringing a team of Agrias, Vayne, and Bartz, because sometimes you just need to bring 2 green BTs to an event to show the boss who is boss. Before we get too deep into it, hit that like button and hit the subscribe button. I know, it's an overplayed meme, but it helps me out a lot, and it goes a long way for supporting the channel. So, toss us the goods. Leave a comment down below if you haven't. Tell me who you've greened. I want to hear who you've greened, how you feel about it. Do you have any regrets? I hope not at this point. A little bit early to be having regrets. Oof. Have you had any MVP surprise stuff where it's like, oh wow, I greened this and it was even better than I hoped? If you want to gush, this is the place to do it. This is a safe space for gushing, is what this is. It's not a safe space for ghosts, because we just brought in the man Sid Reigns as our friend unit very early in the fight, because we are not here to muck about with little ghosts. Nice 1 million damage launch, because we're going to be getting rid of these guys ASAP. We hate these little tiny doofuses. Almost as much as we hate the big doofus in the middle. You can't hear me right now, because he's currently in secret flame form or whatever, but hate him. Hate him, hate him, hate him. That actually worked out perfectly, though, because now Reigns is queued up to go ahead and boom. Ghost's gone. Now, Bartz is going to get broken by this all attack, but Agrias has enough brave that she will be in perfect position to paralyze him. I think that's one of the tricky things to keep in mind with this fight, is when you kill the ghosts, you have to make sure B isn't about to act, which can be a tricky prospect sometimes, if you're depending on the team you're bringing. That was part of why I wanted to bring Reigns here, is I knew I'd be able to very quickly burn through those ghosts and put Agrias into a position, thanks to the turn manipulation, that, if needed, she'd be able to drop that paralyze. Speaking of dropping things, we're going to use that Bartz BT finisher. This is going to be my first time stacking multiple BTs within my party without using a friend unit. And it's about as stupid as I was hoping it'd be. Because I gotta say, at the end of the day, this game is about playing with the fun toys they give us. And that means, if they're going to give us BT pluses, hell yeah, I'm going to use those BT pluses. It's going to be great. Use that Shantoto base call to lower its defense. Get a Agrias LD, and then realize, oh shit, we're out of paralyzes. This is actually going to work out great, though. Just you wait. Now that Ramu's here to keep us safe, we can go ahead and use Reigns' last 2 turns in the summon, which actually has a benefit I didn't expect. I would have realized this had I actually paid more attention to the double Reigns runs you may be seeing floating around on YouTube. Shout out to Excalibur, who I believe is showcasing that on his channel, where you can actually use double Reigns in the summon to blow past all of the thresholds, like a ridiculous number of the warp thresholds, and just kind of trivialize the boss. You can see here, despite being below 80%, we're able to launch him because it was in the summon and he hasn't done his warpy thing that makes him grumpy about, being launched. Agrias does reasonable damage for to a single target on our S1, I've noticed, if you are properly supporting the team. If she's a solo support, not so much, but she's so good. I'm so glad I blew her. What a great idea. There we go. Get that faded moly now, before it's too late. And Vayne is back. Where have you been? That's almost over, it feels like. Well, Vayne is here to dispel the myth that he is no good in his own Lufenia Plus. Before we let him really cut loose, we're going to see if we can't get B below the 59% threshold real quick. I'm just going to get that out of the way so Vayne can kind of roll in properly on his own without having to worry about it. As you can see, we're in a perfect position now to do a bunch of pummeling, and Agrias will still have time to reapply her paralyze as needed. Refresh Gabranth, why not? Let's use this Vayne BT finisher that I've gone through the trouble of getting. Wonk. Big sword. They say Vayne needs to be invested to be any good. Well, he has the investment now, so let's see how good he is. Go ahead and use Contempt Plus now to do some solid damage and get that. Get his LD buff rolling. I've been taking that buff. I mean, it's a decent buff. I've been taking it for granted just because sometimes you use it more for managing stacks or for stacking up your turns. Yeah, ooh, okay, that's not bad. It's like, what, 300k damage on a free turn, something like that. I can see that adding up pretty nicely. Excuse me. And now we can go ahead and Faded Moly real quick, so that when we invariably push him below 39%, we are ready to just kind of go hard on him. Pick up that weakness damage on Bartz. And, alright, Vayne. Do Vayne things. Nice. Vayne's one of the few characters here who can just wail on the boss willy-nilly and delay it to hell because he re-breaks on virtually every attack. Gonna do one more to push him back. Or not push him back, push him under 39%. There we go. It refreshes the orb too, thanks to the sap, so that's great. So this has been a blast. Punch, 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 punch. A skill 2 animation, you see a whole lot of it if you play Vayne. Luckily, I think it's a really cool animation, so I enjoy it. It's like with Eldnarsh, with the you have to be used to you have to be cool with how much of that HP plus you're going to be seeing. I happen to be very cool with the punching that Vayne does. So if you're using his burst, I find starting with EX to get his free turn buff thing up, and spamming Force of Will, and then using his LD to extend the free turn buff is usually the way to go, assuming you're not in some kind of weird, like, you don't want to take 12 turns type situation, you know? So here we go. It's a cool animation too, the big sword things. I mean, I don't know, character archetypes where they just have swords floating around them are always really cool. Boom. I like the, I don't know, it's a cool animation. I'm pretty satisfied with this so far. Happily, this fight doesn't have synergy, so I'm kind of seeing him work kind of for realsies in a sense, which is nice. Let's go ahead and see if we're going to get that Shantota paralyzed there for the defense down at this point, because with Vayne doing Vayne things, there's no way we have to worry about him actually getting turns. We also were able to use the burst phase to take the orb up quite a bit, which is handy. We're just going to free turn our way to victory from here on out. Jesus, yeah, we're doing like 350k a turn on free turns, which is just dope. I mean, there are 2 bursts going, but I mean that's the name of the game now. We're in Lufenia Plus. It's Burst City, baby. And now let's take it home. There we go. There you have it. I hope you enjoyed. I sure did. That was a blast. But thanks for watching to the end. I appreciate it. In any event, I will see you in the next video. So be well and stay cool. Adios.